blast of Arctic air on the way. Teens and 30s on the way this weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
If you need home medical equipment, call Lowry Drug in Statesville. We have everything you need in stock, including portable oxygen concentrators, CPAPs, masks, lift chairs, wheelchairs, scooters, hospital beds, supplies, and anything else you need. Get it when you need it. Check out LowryDrug.com or call 704-873-2247. Lowry Drug, your hometown source since 1959, across from Iredell Memorial Hospital. We are worth the drive. Come see us.
Local leaders, top stories, the news that matters most to you. The News Drive at 5 with host Patrick Reynolds starts now.
Welcome to the News Drive at 5. I'm Patrick Reynolds on this Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, 5:06 p.m. on the East Coast. Thank you for joining us as you head out of the cubicle, around Lake Norman, North Charlotte, and heading home. We appreciate all of you being on board with WSIC. You just heard Know the Scene with Justin Dion. Big concert coming up there this Saturday, January the 20th. Rocky Lynn, homegrown, right here from the area, will be the featured performer this Saturday the 20th at the Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius, of which Justin is the director of. Great to talk to Justin in the previous hour. He is here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. on the WSIC channels. The top 5 at 5 news stories we are tracking for you tonight. U.S. Attorney Dina King strengthens her fight against human trafficking. We'll review the Iredell County's Board of Commissioners Republican Forum. The area is gripped by bitter cold. A missing woman's body is believed to be found in North Charlotte. And a suspected carjacker dies after a high-speed crash. We'll track those, and we'll have those headlines and stories coming up for you. And as we have been doing for the past week or so, a lot of the live shows here on WSIC, we've got a set of tickets to give away to a pair of home shows coming up in Concord and Charlotte. The Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show will be January 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Cabarrus Arena in Concord, and the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd, 4th, and 5th at the Park Expo and Conference Center in Charlotte. We've got 2 tickets to each show, 4 tickets total. We'll be giving away. We're going to do that in the 5:30 segment of the News Drive at 5. So call right into the studio. We will open up the phone lines at 5:30. We'll clear them beforehand. We'll open up beforehand, and we will award 4 tickets to our winner of tonight. Before we even get going tonight, we have a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome to the News Drive at 5.
Hi, it's Yolanda. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. What do you have for us?
Oh, traffic is beautiful tonight. Can you believe it?
Yes, I can believe it.
77 is open, both sides. I mean, the traffic is just flowing.
That is wonderful to hear. We've got a lot of folks in our listening area up and down I-77. So if you're saying it's clear, that is a good way to start the week here on a Tuesday, as most people, or some people, had Monday off anyway. But Tuesday, 5:09, traffic's good. Yolanda, you're a hero to a lot of people right now.
Oh, goodness. Thank you.
Okay.
Yay, me.
Well, we give you that high five virtually through the phone lines, polish that halo, and we appreciate the traffic update. Thank you, Yolanda.
Have a good evening.
Good evening. Yolanda with iCats giving us a traffic update. From what she can see, and she's near Uptown Charlotte, from what they can see, 77 is moving well in either direction. 844-STUDIO-4 puts you right into us, Joe and myself. 844-788-3464. One more time, 844-788-3464. So if you actually have a traffic update and you'd like to share with us, if you see something that maybe iCats has not picked up on, please give us a call and we'll let our audience know. And we'll also use that same number for the ticket giveaway at 5:30 in about 20 minutes from now. So we had a caller last night with a near miss. We had almost like dueling banjos here, a couple of callers. We awarded the tickets last night to Wendy, who will pick them up here at the station. And we had a caller narrowly miss out, but hopefully she'll get in tonight. Or maybe it's going to be you. But 4 tickets to the home shows coming up. If you're watching on the video feed, there you go. There they are. It's like a full house right there. You can see them on camera. So home show tickets coming right up. In headlines tonight, the body of a 79-year-old woman who went missing in December is believed to have been found in a North Charlotte creek, according to Charlotte-Mecklenburg police. The cause of death for Nancy Brown remains under investigation, CMPD said in a news release. Brown was last seen around midnight December 9th at a home at Newhoff Lane in North Charlotte. She lived in New York City and was in Charlotte visiting relatives for the holidays. Police members noted Brown suffers from a cognitive impairment. CMPD says searchers discovered remains to be those of Brown around noon on Monday, January the 15th, in a creek in the area of the 4700 block of Kirkgard Trail. The recovery site is about 1/3 of a mile from where she was last seen. Newhoff Lane and Kirkgard Trail are adjoining streets in the Chestnut development off West Sugar Creek Road. The medical examiner's office will be conducting an investigation into the causes of death to include the positive identification of the deceased. A suspected carjacker died while trying to elude police on Interstate 77 in South Charlotte. The driver was identified as 18-year-old Ramon Miller. Investigators say the chase began around 9 p.m. on Sunday when a woman reported her 2020 Dodge Challenger stolen at gunpoint. A short time later, a vehicle matching the stolen car's description was located by officers traveling southbound on I-77 near Carowinds Boulevard. Officers initiated a traffic stop in which the driver refused to pull over. The chase ended when the Dodge exited Tyvola Road at a high rate of speed. Miller lost control of the car, overturned several times, and was ejected from the vehicle. He died at the scene. Angela Matthews said her accounting experience would be an asset to Iredell County. Brad Howard said he would reduce property taxes. William Compton called the fairgrounds embarrassing and says he opposes mask mandates, vaccine requirements, and the presence of biological males in girls' bathrooms. This all happened during Monday night's Republican Party Town Forum for candidates that were running for 3 seats on the Iredell County Board of Commissioners. These 3 challengers sought to distinguish themselves from the 3 Republican incumbents standing for re-election in 2024. Commissioner Gene Haupt, the only incumbent who participated in the forum, defended the board's work. He likened the county's government to a $300 million business and said the board is tasked with funding school construction as well as the operations of 26 departments, 19 fire departments. The board also helps fund operations for Iredell Statesville Schools, Mooresville Graded Schools, and Mitchell Community College. Hupp said, as I always say, before you judge our actions, ask us our options. Incumbents Melissa Nieder and Scotty Brown and challenger Richard Coleman did not participate in the forum, and they were criticized for it by 2 of the challengers. Compton said, quote, "It's frustrating to see the empty seats between us. It's unprofessional to me," end quote. Throughout the forum, the 3 challengers took aim at the current commissioners for the significant increase in property taxes that most Iredell homeowners have experienced. We're going to step away for our first break coming up here at the News Drive at 5. When we come back, we'll hear more of the headlines that are making news today. We're going to give you our phone number again and tell you all about the ticket giveaway, which will be coming up shortly at 5:30. Stay tuned to the News Drive at 5. I am Patrick Reynolds. We've got your headlines. We've got free tickets. Stick with us here on WSIC. We'll be right back.
Keep it here. We'll be back with more of the News Drive at 5 with Patrick straight ahead on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
We'll continue clearing as we head into our Tuesday evening. Clear skies tonight and getting cold. Our first Wednesday. High temperatures struggling to get out of the 30s by tomorrow afternoon. Warming up a bit into the 40s Thursday and Friday, but another blast of Arctic air on the way. Teens and 30s on the way this weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Having performed all over the world, written hit songs, and mentored artists, Rocky Lynn is making another stop here at home, playing at Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Listen each weekday morning for your chance to win tickets and meet and greet passes. And come hang out with us prior to the show. WSIC will be in front of Kane Center for the Arts from 6 to 7 p.m. Rocky Lynn this Saturday, kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen each day to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Hello everyone, this is Joshua Doby, President of North Main Financial Group. At North Main Financial Group, we move to where you need us: investment management, insurance planning, and estate strategies. No two people are the same, so we customize our planning based upon your needs. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com. That's northmainfinancial.com.
Call 844-STUDIO-4 now to join in the conversation on the News Drive at 5 with Patrick Reynolds on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to the News Drive at 5. I am Patrick Reynolds, taking you home on this Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, 5:18 p.m. in the afternoon. We are about 12 minutes away from our first ticket giveaway of the evening here on the News Drive at 5, as well as about 30 minutes away, maybe 28 minutes away, from chatting with our special guest tonight. Member of the North Carolina House of Representatives, Jason Saine, will join us. Also the host of All Things Sane every Wednesday right here on WSIC at 11 a.m. His jurisdiction largely in Lincoln County, so we're going to check in with Jason, talk about things on the west coast of Lake Norman. So stay tuned. He'll be with us in the final segment this evening at around 5:45. Back to the headlines. To commemorate National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, U.S. Attorney Dina King renewed the U.S. Attorney's Office commitment to fight against human trafficking by bringing traffickers to justice, assisting trafficked victims, and enhancing public awareness through community outreach. Human trafficking is a crime involving the exploitation of a person for labor, services, or commercial sex through the use of force, fraud, or coercion that is physically and or psychological. The exploitation of a minor for commercial sex is human trafficking regardless of whether any forms of force, fraud, or coercion is used by the trafficker. King said human trafficking is a despicable crime, that it happens in our cities, our towns, and our communities. Our notable federal prosecutors speak to our commitment to combat human trafficking and bring traffickers to justice, but there's more work to be done. That's why today and every day we are committed to working with our law enforcement partners, victim service providers, and government entities, private businesses, and the community to combine and strengthen our anti-trafficking efforts. In Kannapolis, longtime Kannapolis City Council member has resigned in December so he could avoid a conflict of interest and accept $3 million in federal tax money. But a month later, he's back on the job. Tom Kincaid's surprise reappointment last week drew criticism from 3 of his colleagues who are raising concerns about ethics and attempt for power and how the city can move forward from an episode that's divided a city once united around efforts to transform the former Milltown into a thriving Charlotte suburb. The reappointment was possible, 2 of the council members said, only because Councilmember Doug Wilson, who would have voted no, was sick and absent from the meeting. Kincaid, who first joined the Kannapolis City Council in 2010, resigned last month under pressure from council members who said accepting $3 million in American Rescue Plan Act money would be a conflict of interest, even if it passed through Cooperative Christian Ministry first. The Concord-based nonprofit bought Kincaid's nursing home to turn it into transitional housing. Kincaid resigned December 11th, and the council voted at the same meeting to give Cooperative Christian Ministry the $3 million. It put him back on the council less than 1 month later. For others on the council, member Ryan Dayvault said there's not a legal issue because Kannapolis gave $3 million to the nonprofit, not directly to Kincaid. Dayvault said, but that was the whole purpose of giving the money to buy the facility. In our weather, we're not talking to Chase Myers tonight, but simply by going outside, you can tell the big story. And we are in the grip of a big freeze in North Charlotte, Lake Norman, and up here in Iredell County. Chilly days and freezing nights are forecast for the next week. After the rain settled this Tuesday morning, temperatures will plummet to 18 degrees tonight. It's the coldest air in this region since Christmas of 2022. This cycle will repeat for the rest of the week, though clearer skies and slightly warmer temperatures are forecast. Just to give you an idea of what we'll be looking at Tuesday, we will have a high of 46 degrees, which we've already passed. A low tonight will be 18. Wednesday, see clear skies, high of 40 and a low of 23. We'll rise to 49 degrees on Thursday with a chance of rain during a 33 degrees on Thursday night. On Friday, temperatures will peak at 50 degrees but plummet to 19 degrees at night. Saturday will be a sunny 33-degree day but a chilling 16-degree night. Sunday's highs will peak around 41 degrees and drop to 20 degrees at night. A very cold air mass will spread over the region late Friday. It will linger through the weekend. Cold temperatures and bitter wind chills will be likely across the area. The Arctic air covering most of the U.S. follows last week's massive rain, which brought record rainfall and a deadly tornado to our own Piedmont area. Snow is really no longer forecast in the Charlotte area this week, but up to 9 inches dropped near Tennessee in Swain and Graham counties. More nearby snow is forecast in Boone Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Had a friend that went skiing up at Appalachian Mountain and looked pretty good from the photos I saw, but visibility was an issue in the afternoon. They actually had to cut their ski trip short, call it a day. They enjoyed their MLK holiday on the slopes. Now, a family in Statesville, North Carolina, that's right here in our town, right here, where you are at WSIC. They're getting a whole new makeover, and it will be featured on the show for the Lifetime Network. Jared Bowman joined the North Carolina Army National Guard in 2016, and he was selected to have renovations done on the show Military Makeover. Military Makeover is spending the week in the Bowman family's Statesville home to, quote, tackle a range of improvements, end quote. The show says the veterans' family will also have a surprise waiting for them. Is your little one bothered by the stomach flu or stomach bug? Anyone in your household? You are not alone. There is a lot going around, and with the new year in full swing, children back in school, diving into new lessons and reuniting with friends, unfortunately, as kids gather, well, so do the germs, and the stomach bug is notorious for spreading in school settings. When the telltale signs of a stomach bug plague your household, it's important to brace for the inevitable and have a game plan. Dr. Judith Prairie, A physician at Family Care Center in Mooresville offers the following advice when your child gets sent home from school with that dreaded stomach bug. Stomach bug, also sometimes called basically the flu, is a contagious virus that causes infection in your child's stomach and intestines. The most common way to contact the stomach bug is through contact with an infected person or through contaminated food or water. Children love to share food and drinks at lunch with friends, but unfortunately, this could spread many germs, including the stomach bug. Said Prairie, there are several types of viruses that cause the stomach bug, the most frequent being norovirus. Norovirus is the most common cause of the stomach bug and affects all ages. These viruses can occur at any time, but they are most common in the winter months. Now, according to Prairie, the most common symptoms are nausea, vomiting, watery diarrhea, stomach cramping, and sometimes a low-grade fever. Said Prairie, symptoms usually begin 12 to 48 hours after coming in contact with an infected person and last about 1 to 3 days. But depending on the virus, symptoms may last up to 2 weeks. According to Prairie, the key to treating the stomach bug is making sure your child stays hydrated. Make sure to avoid drinks that can make symptoms worse, like sodas or juices. If you are really struggling, Prairie recommends using the children's version of Pepto-Bismol or Imodium. Make sure to read the medication label and follow the dosage instructions for your child's age and weight. In addition to caring for your sick child, you should take steps to protect yourself and others in your household. Encourage frequent hand washing from all family members. Make sure to wash your hands after touching or supporting your child and when preparing food and eating. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hand sanitizer does not work well against stomach bugs caused by norovirus, so it's critical to wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water. Make sure to clean your home and your child's. Make sure to keep everything clean. Some viruses that cause the stomach bug can live on surfaces, doorknobs, countertops, and even toys for weeks. So wearing rubber gloves, you can effectively disinfect your surfaces with a chlorine bleach solution. Wash clothing and bedding with detergent and hot water and dry on the highest heat setting. Now, due to their smaller body size, children are more prone to dehydration than adults. If your child has signs of dehydration, you should contact their doctor or pediatrician. According to Prairie, signs of dehydration include no tears when crying, no wet diaper for more than 4 hours, sunken eyes or cheeks, dizziness, and extreme thirst. You should also call your child's doctor if your child has severe or worsening abdominal pain, high fever above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, or is unable to keep any amounts of liquid down. Dealing with a stomach bug in the household can be challenging, but focusing on keeping things clean, make sure your child stays hydrated, and offering comfort, simple as that, can promote a quick recovery and help you and your family navigate through the storm of the stomach bug. And in Mooresville, a little good news for the students, not just the stomach bug, but Congressman Patrick McHenry announced that Mooresville student Muhammad Fawaz, a student at South Iredell High School, as the winner of the 10th District's 2023 Congressional App Challenge. Muhammad created the AII, which is spelled EYE, which is designed to support visually impaired individuals in their daily lives by assisting them in object identification and acknowledgement. McHenry said, "I congratulate Muhammad on winning the 2023 App Challenge, and I am proud to have his app representing the 10th District. I commend him for taking advantage of cutting-edge technology, which is artificial intelligence, to positively impact the lives of the visually impaired." So our hats here are tipped at WSIC to Muhammad Fawaz as the winner of the App Challenge. You are listening to the News Drive at 5. I am Patrick Reynolds. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back after these messages.
More of the News Drive at 5 after we pay the bills on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
We'll continue clearing as we head into our Tuesday evening. Clear skies tonight and getting cold. Our first of 2 Arctic blasts on the way this week. Temperatures will drop down into the mid-teens by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Sunshine is back, but it is a cold day of weather for our Wednesday. High temperatures struggling to get out of the 30s by tomorrow afternoon. Warming up a bit into the 40s Thursday and Friday, but another blast of Arctic air on the way. Teens and 30s on the way this weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I feel occasional burning and stabbing in my hands as I age.
I sometimes feel numbness and tingling in my feet as I get older.
It's starting to get in the way of doing what I love.
At Nervive, we hear you, and we can help. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use.
Now that I know, I'm taking control.
Try Nervive Nerve Relief and say yes to healthy nerves. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-989-1754. 800-989-1754. 800-989-1754. That's 800-989-1754. Paid for by Term Direct.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-556-2974. 800-556-2974.
This is a true, sad story for ADT, the leader in home security systems. My favorite dog, Oliver, was stolen from our garage recently. If I had a camera system installed in my home from ADT, I would have known exactly what car possibly pulled up in my driveway and stole my little friend. If I had a security system from ADT, my dog would still be here. I called ADT this weekend, and they're coming out in a few days to install a camera and a new security system. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for me. Listen, protect everyone you love in your family. Call ADT now. Have them come out and give you a quote to install a full security system in your home. Don't let it be too late for you. Call right now.
Paid for by the Home Security Hotline. 800-561-6198. 800-561-6198. 800-561.
The Statesville Family YMCA reminds you that older adults and those with chronic health conditions don't need to feel they must accept impaired balance and limited mobility. Build strength, improve balance, and gain confidence in your mobility through the Moving for Better Balance program. For questions and additional information, email C. Mullins at ymcanwnc.org.
Now, back to more of the News Drive at 5 with your host, Patrick Reynolds, on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to the News Drive at 5 for this Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, 5:35 p.m. here on the East Coast. It is time for our daily ticket giveaway to these two home shows. Big, strong partner with WSIC Radio. Right now, call into the studio, 844-STUDIO-4. Number-wise, that's 844-788-3464. 844-788-3464. We've got 4 tickets to 2 home shows coming right up at you. Just call in. They are yours. I'm holding them up here on the video feed if you're watching us on our social media here at WSIC. What are you winning? Some people might be exciting and just dialing their phones thinking, oh, I'm going to win something. What are you winning? Let me tell you. We've got 2 tickets to the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show. That is January 26th, 7th, and 8th. At the Cabarrus Arena in Concord, and 2 tickets to the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd, 24th, and 25th at Park Expo and Conference Center in Charlotte. We've got 2 tickets to each show, 2 in January, 2 in February. I'm holding them up to the camera right now. Call in the studio. These 4 tickets are yours right now. Yes, you can win these right now. Call in. 844-STUDIO-4 and 844-788-3464, 844-788-3464 to win these tickets to these 2 home shows. We got 4 total, 2 for each. We will watch the phone lines for our winner, and after the News Drive at 5, as it is every day, every weekday here anyway, on WSIC News Talk Radio, we cover the world of sports at the top of the hour, and Joe Berg hosts that. My friend Joe, what do we got coming up on the scoreboard tonight? What's hot in sports?
We got a lot of local basketball going on tonight.
I heard you last night on the scoreboard to giving us a really good flavor of the local scene as well as the national scene as the NFL playoffs were rolling on last night.
Yeah, we had the game live while we were on the scoreboard, so that was a nice little wrinkle into the show.
Did you do any play-by-play over the top?
I had strict direction from the station owner, who we will not name because we're respectful here, to not do that.
we can't say his name?
No, I'm joking right now.
Rhymes with Mazepis.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, Justin's a good guy, but I get it.
Absolutely.
You know, I think we could cross over into broadcast rights or territory. We don't want any trouble.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
No, I agree that. How did the NFL games go last night? How they went?
Well, they went pretty good last night. The Bills beat the Steelers,
as it looked like.
As it looked like they were going to. It turned out to be a much closer game than we originally thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the night game, the Buccaneers and the Eagles. The Eagles, they started out the season really good, but they end the season really bad, losing 7 of 6 and getting blown out last night.
Yeah, they had I followed that. They had a very strong record, and suddenly the last third of the season or what have you, just bottom fell out.
Yeah.
Fly birds fly, they did not.
They did not
They
fly.
stumbled, and so...
There was a little bit of glass in front of those birds, I think.
They hit a window last night.
Might have.
Called the Buccaneers. All right, so we got a big weekend on tap for NFL coming up again with the playoffs. That's probably part of your material this week is outlining.
It might
Maybe, yeah. You got an NFL special show planned for this week as we head into the next week of playoffs?
Not a full show where we're going to just talk about the NFL, but we try to touch it. There's news coming out of the NFL every day, so we try to touch on it at least for a little bit every single day, which we have been.
The regular season, 17 games?
Yes, it is for now.
Regular season, 17 games, but gosh, NFL seems to have news like 52 weeks a year is NFL.
I say this all the time. If they wanted to, they could dominate the news cycle and you would never hear about any other sport.
Yeah. I know from my time working in NASCAR and how that grew from a regional sport to more of a national sport. The people inside the offices that were running NASCAR constantly looked at the NFL to see what are they doing, because baseball's a great game, but I'll tell you, nothing dominates the headlines and the airwaves like the NFL does here in the United States.
I don't know what it is about the NFL, but they got it figured out.
Yeah, the NFL's got it figured out, and I think all other sports look to them and their models to see how to do a sport.
It is the best soap opera we have in America.
I always thought when I was your age, I could use that WWE. That was my soap opera for men.
I never got into that.
Well, yeah, that might be another show for us. We'll do a NASCAR playoff show, and then we'll do a
Definitely
WWE
a NASCAR show.
Cool, definitely.
Which is coming up. It's
Absolutely.
around the corner.
I know, right around the corner. Home show tickets right now. 4 to go to one lucky winner right now. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. Call into the studio. 2 tickets to each home show in January and February, and you've got them. Just call right in, 2 for each show. And we are also talking to North Carolina Representative Jason Saine coming up at our final segment of the News Drive at 5 tonight. Recapping our top stories here on the News Drive at 5. The body of a 79-year-old woman who went missing in December is believed to have been found in a North Charlotte creek. The cause of death for Nancy Brown remains under investigation. Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are involved. Brown was last seen around midnight, December 9th, at a home on Newhoff Lane in North Charlotte. She lived in New York City and was in Charlotte visiting relatives for the holidays. Family members noted Brown suffers from a cognitive impairment. CMPD says searchers discovered remains believed to be those of Brown around noon on Monday, January 15th, in a creek in the area of the 4700 block of Kirkgard Trail. The recovery site is about 1/3 of a mile from where she was last seen. Newhoff Lane and Kirkgard Trail are adjoining streets in the Chestnut development off West Sugar Creek Road. The medical examiner's office will be conducting an investigation into the cause of death to include the positive identification of the deceased. A suspected carjacker died while trying to elude police on Interstate 77 in South Charlotte. The driver was identified as 18-year-old Ramon Miller. Investigators say the chase began around 9 p.m. on Sunday when a woman reported her 2020 Dodge Challenger was stolen at gunpoint. A short time later, a vehicle matching the stolen car's description was located by officers traveling southbound on I-77 near Carowinds Boulevard. Officers initiated a traffic stop in which the driver refused to pull over. The chase ended when the Dodge exited the Tyvola Road exit at a high rate of speed. Miller lost control of the car and was ejected from the vehicle. He died at the scene. 844-STUDIO-4 will give away 4 tickets to the Home and Garden shows, two Home and Garden shows. 844-STUDIO-4, we got 2 for each show. The Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show, January 26th, 27th, and 8th at the Cabarrus Arena in Concord. And the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Park Expo and Conference Center in Charlotte. Not only are we giving away tickets here on the News Drive at 5, but you can win them on the scoreboard every night, as well as each morning here on WSIC News Talk on Good Morning LKN and the Home Ad Show. Simple giveaway, just call in, and each show is running their own little promo for this. You could have a trivia question, you could be a certain caller, what have you. News Drive at 5, we're making it easy. Just call in and grab the tickets and they're yours. They could make, I think, with the cold air this week, everybody could already be thinking about spring once they clear the holidays, and could be looking out for that. It's a great way to put your brain on some warmer weather and see what's going on there. I always joked years ago, and I think it rolls into these home shows pretty well. October 1st is Happy Halloween. November 1st, Happy Thanksgiving. December 1st, Merry Christmas. January 1st, Happy New Year. January 2nd was a come on spring day. We got a special guest, North Carolina Representative Jason Saine will join us after the break. News Drive at 5 rolls on.
The News Drive at 5 will be back shortly on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
We'll continue clearing as we head into our Tuesday evening. Clear skies tonight and getting cold.
Representative Saine, Patrick Reynolds at WSIC. Can you hear me, my friend?
I can, Patrick. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can. Thank you.
Very good.
We are in commercial right now. We'll be out in a few minutes, and we'll come straight to you, and we're going to button up the show about 6 o'clock, have you on your way.
Sounds great.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate the time tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. How's the basketball game going? Is it over or still rolling?
Well, it's over, and it was a close one. Unfortunately, they lost, but it was a nail-biter to the end.
Okay, how'd your boy do?
He played well. Great defensive plays. I got a basket or two, but was hustling, and that's what I wanted to see. So
Hustle and effort, yeah.
We're very proud. Yeah.
Good. Proud dad. I love it. Very good. Thank you. Yep, we'll be right with you here in a moment or two. Appreciate you being here. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
CainArts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Mooresville Parks and Recreation presents the Hitmen of Country, playing at the Charles Mack Citizen Center Friday, January 19th. Love country music? The Hitmen of Country have toured and recorded with some of the country's greatest artists, like Keith Urban, Trace Adkins, Travis Tritt, and Jason Aldean. For more information, go to visitmooresville.com. That's visitmooresville.com. Birkdale on Ice is still going on through January 28th. Time to lace up your skates and hit the ice. To make sure you can skate when you want, we recommend you making a reservation. For skate session info, including times and pricing, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to attend the Greater Charlotte Home and Landscape Show? How about the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen each day to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Greater Charlotte Home and Garden Show, February 23rd through the 25th. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, January 26th through the 28th. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion Service Departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Call in now to speak with Patrick Reynolds on the News Drive at 5. The number to dial is 844-STUDIO-4. WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to the News Drive at 5, everybody. I am Patrick Reynolds, and joining us on the hotline, he represents the 97th North Carolina House District, including Lincoln County, and also the host of All Things Saine, right here on WSIC Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Jason Saine joins us. Good afternoon, Representative Saine. How are you?
I'm great, Patrick. Thanks for having me on. As you can tell, I'm in my vehicle. Just left a JV basketball game where our son played. Lost a nail biter right at the end, but the boys played great, both teams. And so it's we're back in full swing now that we're back from the break. All the New Year stuff's over, and getting back to school and work and everything else.
I see that, and would be a great first question to ask you. You're obviously, moved this interview around to make time for you as a dad, which is probably the most important thing you do every day. How in the world do you budget the family time, professional time, political time? That's a lot on your plate, my friend. How do you balance the time?
It is. It's just, you got to be regimented and dedicated. And, I pride myself. I've only missed a handful of games over the years, whether kids playing basketball or any type of assembly. And of course, the wife too, she's got things that she needs me to be at. So it's a juggling act for sure. But it makes you prioritize. and they truly are my priority. And so those come first. Yeah, legislative business is important, and most of the time people understand if you've got to be at something that prevents you from being there because you've got some family obligations. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, by and large, able to balance it pretty well. When folks go to Raleigh, you know, I think that we're a citizen legislature, and folks sometimes forget there's families also that we have to tend to, and you know, from everything of our civic involvement, which is how most of us got here anyway. And so we find a way to do it, but it's not without its challenges, but we make it happen.
For our audience members that don't know where you are from and who you represent, outline that for us. The 97th District and your jurisdiction, so to speak, for our audience. Where are you?
Yes. So we're just across the lake from probably the rest of the listening audience. I represent Lincoln County. I'm from Lincolnton. Catherine and I, when we first got married, we lived in Denver for about 12 years, moved back to Lincolnton, closer to my parents, especially with having a young man that we're raising, with Dad being gone a little bit to Raleigh. We like being close to them. It's one, convenient. Two, he gets to be with his grandparents, which we're blessed on both sides. My in-laws live in Fort Mill, South Carolina, so everyone's very close. My his younger the nieces, who are really function like younger sisters to him, are also close by. My sister and her husband are close by. So I represent all of Lincoln County. It is a unique one of the most unique districts in the state. I only have one municipality. I've got one school board. I've got one county commission. Our number has just been absolutely perfect in terms of constitutionally correct with the number that you get to represent each time we redistrict, and with enough lawsuits, we get to do that a lot. But the good news is Lincoln County gets to stay a whole county, which is really pretty unique. I think there's maybe two more districts this time, this 10-year cycle that fit that measure. But I've been blessed to be able to do that. I've been serving in Lincoln County and in the state legislature since 2011. I was appointed when our state legislator, he had resigned his seat because he moved to a different county, to his wife's old home place. So that's worked out well for our county. I've been able to be in leadership. I've been the finance chairman for the State House. I'm currently the appropriations chairman, which puts me in the room when a lot of decisions are made. And hopefully that brings a lot back to our region. And I think folks who are listening have probably seen a lot of the benefit for the team that we have in this area.
So how much time do you spend in Raleigh versus Lincolnton in a typical week or a typical month?
You know, we say it's a part-time legislature, but there's really nothing part-time about it other than the pay. And I'm not complaining about it. Okay, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little.
I spend a lot of time, usually about, once a week, I find myself in Raleigh. This is probably the slowest time of year. It's between our long session and our short session. So there's not much going on in January. But typically, even when we're not in session, I'm up a couple times a month, usually for a couple of days, having meetings. There's a lot to review. There's a lot of oversight, because when we're not in session, we have oversight committees. I chair our Economic Development Committee. I chair our Lottery Oversight Committee, as well as being a member of other committees. So there's always work to be done. Thankfully, if COVID brought us one thing, it helped the legislature come into the world of virtual meetings. It's an option for some of the chairs and those who embrace it, make it a little easier on the rest of us. When you're really just getting an update, it's somewhat silly to drive 3 hours from my home to Raleigh to spend time. If I can do it at home, I do it at home. But you have to be dedicated. For those that I serve with, both Republican and Democrat, they put a lot of time into it, and I think folks appreciate it when they understand it.
Yesterday here on the News Drive at 5, we talked about an expansive plan in Mooresville, as it was quoted by somebody saying that largely the largest infrastructure plan that Mooresville has ever seen. And they were talking about an extension off of the Langtree area to 115, through I-77. They were being commended for doing some infrastructure before that area was developed. This brought my attention to my thought to you over in Lincolnton and Lincoln County. What do you guys face over there on the west side of the lake? Because over here, Cornelius, Huntersville, Mooresville, there's a lot of development, but it doesn't seem like the infrastructure is keeping up with that. This is the first plan we've all heard of where we're doing it what seems sensical, where the infrastructure in place first, then the development. Does Lincolnton or Lincoln County face any of those decisions coming up soon?
Well, we really do, and from a vision standpoint, it's very important for my local partners, my county commissioners, and city council. But really, in this case, the growth is in eastern Lincoln County, but on the west side of the lake, and so we're kind of last to develop. I grew up on Lake Norman. I remember when you could be out on a main channel and learn to ski. Those days are long gone. There's a lot of traffic on the lake, but which means there's a lot of traffic on the roadways. And we're not really a great kept secret anymore. I tell some folks when they want to complain a little bit about traffic, and I complain when I have to sit in it. My wife was late to the ball game today because she was sitting on Highway 73 trying to get to the ball game. But we're going to be a growing area. The good news is we've changed a lot of policies over the last 10 years in state government to be able to allow for opportunities for investing in infrastructure ahead of the curve. But it never can be quick enough. I told a friend of mine who was on one of the local city councils across the lake, we were talking about traffic one time, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, when did you get here?" He said, 2006. I said, "Gosh, we wish you would have called us about 20 years before you decided to move. That way we could have planned for you." And he got the understanding of what I was saying. But that's the challenge we all face, is that we've had so much growth. We're kind of a victim of our own success. We're doing great economically, but it also means that a lot of other people want to move here, and it's quite the compliment. But it also presents a lot of challenges. We still have a long way to go. I'll be honest with you, it can't move fast enough for me. We have gone away from the old where politics dictated where roads were built. We've got some beautiful roads out in eastern North Carolina that aren't as well traveled, and certainly not in as a populated area as we live in. We've changed those policies, but it still takes time. It's like trying to steer a big ship. It doesn't happen overnight. These infrastructure projects cost millions and millions of dollars. The good news is, because we've been running surpluses so many years, because we've been able to reinvest back into our state and back into the roads and the schools that taxpayers all use, we're getting there. But it's like any other place. It can't be fast enough if you're having to sit in traffic on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. I understand the concerns over in Lincoln County on the west side of Lake Norman, very similar to the ones that we have here on the east side of Lake Norman. I've got several questions I'd like to ask you, but as you know, in part of radio time, this goes by too quickly. So my final question for you is, would you come back? Could I schedule again for another News Drive at 5? I'd love to talk to you some more.
Absolutely glad to do that, and appreciate you having me on. Glad to come on anytime.
I'll lie to you and ask you one more question. What's coming up tomorrow on All Things Saine tomorrow?
So
Wednesday,
I've got Grant Campbell, who's a combat doctor. He's seen combat. He's a field surgeon. He is now just retired in his regular practice. He's running for State House. He's going to be on telling us about the good things that he wants to do as a state legislator.
Always serving the people. I love it. Great to hear it. Thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your afternoon. Sorry your boy lost the basketball game, but I appreciate you finding time for our audience here at WSIC. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right. Jason Saine, everybody. Representative Jason Saine, the host of All Things Saine, every Wednesday here at 11 a.m. on WSIC Radio. Scoreboard with Joe Berg is coming up at the top of the hour. We talked to you a little bit earlier. You all set for the show tonight, my man?
Oh, we're ready to go. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be. Aren't they all good?
They're always good.
Do you have more tickets to the home show to give away? I'm going to hold them up here for the video. Yeah.
I'm going to give away your tickets.
These get away your tickets. So, disappointingly, nobody called in for these today.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. We're trying to make that a rarity. But hopefully we'll give it, we'll make it a rarity, but we'll make it frequently that you give these away. So
they're good tickets.
They're good tickets. We got 2 to each home show, 4 total. So if you want to call in during the scoreboard, is there a certain block that you're going to give away these tickets, or are you gonna, just playing with it?
I'm probably going to knock it out in the second half of the show, so after 6:30.
After 6:30. Okay, everybody. You want to go to these home shows? We've got a 4-pack of tickets for you, 2 to each show. Fellas, call in, get them. You got really 2 good date days for your girl right here. Or maybe you're into landscaping. I don't know. Whoever wants them, they are yours if you call into the scoreboard. Joe Berg is here. He's producing my show. We will talk to you tomorrow here on the News Drive at 5. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday.
1059